You never forget the moment an entire galaxy falls silent. I certainly never will. 1 second, the Grand Assembly echoed with smug speeches and polished promises. The next, every human delegate stood together, turned their backs on the chamber, and walked out. The stunned silence that followed was louder than any declaration of war. In that instant, every species realized something was terribly wrong. I served as Earth's senior ambassador aboard the assembly station for nearly 12 years. Humanity had earned a reputation for solving impossible disputes, protecting weaker civilizations, and answering every insult with patience instead of anger. Many aliens mistook that patience for dependence. They believed humans would always return to the negotiating table, no matter how unfair the terms became. They were wrong. The crisis began when the Dominion Coalition introduced what they called the Stability Accord. According to its supporters, every civilization would surrender control of its planetary defense fleets to a centralized galactic command. The proposal sounded reasonable until the details appeared. Earth would dismantle its independent fleet first while the coalition retained temporary authority over its own forces, for security reasons. I watched delegates applaud. I also watched countless smaller worlds lower their eyes, too frightened to object. When the assembly president demanded our signature, I activated my terminal instead. Our answer, I said, is no. Confused whispers spread across the chamber. The president reminded me that refusing would isolate humanity politically and economically. I smiled. Isolation has never frightened us. Every human representative rose at once. No speeches. No threats. No dramatic farewell. We simply left. Behind us, the chamber erupted into arguments. Within hours, every diplomatic channel between Earth and the assembly went dark. Human trade fleets returned home. Scientific exchanges ended. Military advisors departed foreign systems. Thousands of human specialists vanished from projects the galaxy had quietly grown dependent upon. The assembly celebrated for exactly 3 days. On the 4th, deep space rescue operations stalled because human navigation algorithms disappeared from emergency networks. On the 6th, pirate raids doubled after human patrol squadrons withdrew from neutral space. By the second week, food shipments to frontier colonies arrived late because the freight routes humans had maintained collapsed into chaos. No one had realized how much invisible work humanity performed. Then something even worse happened. Long-range sensors detected an ancient machine civilization emerging from intergalactic darkness. Their fleet stretched across millions of kilometers, consuming abandoned systems to manufacture more warships. Records describing them existed only in myths. For centuries, humans had quietly monitored their advance beyond explored space. We had warned the assembly several times. Those warnings had been ignored. Emergency messages flooded Earth. Some begged. Others apologized. A few demanded our immediate assistance as though nothing had happened. Our government answered with only one public transmission. We defend our home first. The panic across known space became impossible to hide. Weeks later, representatives from dozens of frightened civilizations arrived in Earth's orbit without escorts or weapons. They requested a single meeting, not with demands but with humility. I welcomed them personally. This time, nobody spoke about controlling humanity's fleet. Instead, they asked how they could stand beside us. That question changed everything. We rebuilt the alliance from the ground up, not through fear or political pressure but through earned trust and shared responsibility. Every member contributed equally. Every world kept its sovereignty. Every promise carried consequences. When the ancient machines finally reached the borders of civilized space, they expected a divided galaxy. Instead, they found humanity leading allies who had learned the difference between commanding respect and deserving it. As I watched thousands of united fleets ignite their engines beside Earth's own, I realized our walk out of the assembly had never been an act of surrender. It had been the first step toward building a galaxy finally worthy of standing together.